pretty much, any type of food you're looking for, because, pretty much you're going to eat something different every day, right? One day you're going to eat maybe at a Brazilian steakhouse. Maybe the next day you're in the mood for sushi. Maybe the next day you're in the mood for Italian. You're going to get that cultural experience. So for example, day one, I may go to Christ the Redeemer and do that tour. And then that night I may go to Terrestrial Palace, to the steakhouse. And then the next day, maybe I'll go to Sugarloaf Mountain and do like the cable car ride or across the city. And then that night I'll go to maybe a sushi restaurant, things like that. If you try to do more than one activity per day, sometimes you'll kind of run out of time, right? I mean, there's in Brazil, there's kind of a lot of like long lines sometimes when you go to places. So you definitely don't want to, I wouldn't want to schedule Christ the Redeemer and Sugarloaf in the same day because you're going to be just burned out. And not to mention, you want to get time to kind of enjoy and take photos and just kind of relax. So you don't want your vacation to feel rushed, things like that. So, and not to mention, I would also recommend going probably earlier in the day because typically, from what I saw, there were like afternoon showers. So if you go in the morning, typically you have shorter lines to go do activities, and you'll get like better weather too, so you can take photos. There was some rainstorms kind of when I was there recently, but it was an amazing time. All right. So let's see here. So that was restaurants. And I think, I kind of talked about it, right? Cable car tour. So for example, I even think I have a little video here of the Christ the Redeemer. So I'm just gonna play a couple of videos and then kind of walk through this. So for example, let's see here. So this is when I went to Christ the Redeemer. This is actually, so literally in order to get to Christ the Redeemer, you go to the Christ the Redeemer location, and then you take like a train up to the Christ the Redeemer. Actually, pause this, make sure my screen is sharing. Okay, I'll go ahead and share my screen. Okay. So here we go. So you're actually going to you're taking the train up to Christ. You can actually see a great view of like Copacabana and Ipanema, like the entire city. This is taking the train all the way up to go see the Christ the Redeemer statue. Just amazing. All right. Here's another video. Going up to see the Christ the Redeemer. It was a little bit cloudy that day. Just kind of the weather had to be typically, if you get a little bit better weather, get some sun, you definitely get better videos, better photos, things like that. And that's the Christ the Redeemer. All right. So just kind of, it's almost like an outlook post where you can kind of just look over and see the entire city. I think it's like maybe like a $10 or $15 entrance fee. And you basically take the cable car up to like the top of one mountain. And at the top, they have like a DJ up there playing music, ice cream, a little bar. You can order a caipirinha, a bunch of souvenir shops, like at the top of the mountain. Then you take another cable car up to another top of another mountain, and they'll have the same thing at another top of the mountain. Then you just pretty much come all the way back.